Tino Dwyer, tourism trainer, facilitator and clarity coach. Today I'm speaking about what motivates destination engagement. Very recently I had the opportunity to work with a group of people whose work requires them to achieve engagement and participation within their destinations. It's critical to moving the destination forward. And while they were very committed to this idea, they definitely found it challenging, and we explored some of the barriers that exist to engagement. Then we flipped it on its head and we started to look about what really motivates engagement, what encourages people to participate and get involved. And the one thing we did look at is Maslow's Hierarchy of Human Needs, and it's one of those core things. It was launched in the 1940s and it's still as relevant today as it was then. A quick summary of what it's about, or what Maslow identified at the time, is that as humans we have 5 basic needs, and they're staggered in a hierarchy, with the most important at the bottom and then moving their way up. So at the bottom 2 we have physiological and safety. That relates to our survival, making sure we can survive. Once that's looked after, we're interested in love and belonging with others. Then it's self-esteem and respect and our place in the world. And finally it's about self-actualization, or fulfilling our potential. The theory is that we can only worry about the top needs once all the needs below have been satisfied. So for example, if we feel like we're in danger, we are no longer thinking about respect and belonging and potential. We must address this need before we can move on. So how does that apply to destination engagement then? Well, it does apply quite specifically. If we look at the motivators for engagement and we think physiological, that's about having a framework where people actually can engage, a way for them to participate. It's a physical thing. Then safety, this relates really to fear. A lot of people are motivated by fear. Fear for their futures, fear for their business, fear for the destination overall, and wanting to address that. Love and belonging, we know that motivation or participation is motivated by wanting to belong. If there are people involved in the destination who we trust and we respect and admire, we are motivated to be part of that. Moving up to esteem, we know that people in businesses and communities really want to have a voice in their destination and want to be listened to. And that's about power and influence and being respected. And finally at the top we have this idea of altruism within a destination. So when all the other needs are satisfied, there are people who are motivated by giving back, by contributing, by helping others, and by leaving a legacy for the good of the destination. So if we take all that on board and we think about that, we know these are the things that actually motivate participation, how can you leverage that to maximize your participation? Well, one is things like meetings and times and the amount of time it takes to be involved or to travel. Keep that as short as possible so that it's possible for people. Fear, address fears, acknowledge fears, articulate them, and let people know where the group is in relation to solving those fears. Love and belonging, let your thought leaders influence, let them bring people with them and enable them to do that. Listen to people, make sure the voice matters, make sure that the things that people are being asked to engage in actually make a difference, and be action oriented so people know their contribution is making a difference overall. And finally, up here in the altruistic stage, that's where everybody wants to be. That's where we've addressed these other fears, and now we're looking at the common good and a better future for all. And that's ultimately the goal of engagement, where we're all engaged in the point of common purpose for the future. So I hope that serves you well, and I hope it helps you maximize engagement and participation in your destination.